you lead us in the pledge?
I can.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you. We thank you for Scioto County and the many people that live here, Lord. We just pray that those that are hurting in our community, that you comfort them, those that are just have things going on in their lives, that you provide them support, Lord. And as we come to this table, we ask for guidance, we ask for wisdom, and we ask to do what's best for all the people of Scioto County. We give you all the praise and glory. In your holy name, amen. All right, good morning. Morning. It's July 7th. Did you have a happy 4th?
Wow. Yes.
Yeah, good
Yes,
deal.
it was fun. I got to see 2 fireworks displays, and they were wonderful.
Perfect.
Very good.
So it's good to be back after that long holiday weekend. If we can get
Yes.
started with the
Well,
approval.
did you
Huh?
have a good weekend?
I had a great weekend.
Okay, great. That's good.
Celebrating America. It was
There it
good.
is, America.
It was a good weekend.
Celebrating America.
But yeah, we can talk a little bit more about that later.
Yeah.
Let's approve the minutes of June 30th. With a motion,
Sir, I make a motion that we approve the minutes of June 30th submitted by our clerk.
and I will be vacating the chair to second.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell,
Hi.
and the matter request for appropriation of funds.
Any comments or questions on the appropriation of funds? Hearing none.
Sir, I make a motion we approve the fund appropriations.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell,
Aye.
and the matter request for appropriation transfer of funds.
Any comments or questions on the transfers? Hearing none.
Motion approved.
A second.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell,
Aye.
and the matter of communication from Portsmouth Municipal Court regarding electronic monitoring house arrest invoice.
This is the EMHA invoice for May of '22. There were 56 defendants on the program, and they were on the program for a total of 1,022 days, with nothing paid by the defendants, leaving the county a balance of $14,819. Any comments or questions? Hearing none.
Motion approved.
A second.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell,
Aye.
and the matter of bid award for 2022 hot mix materials paving project and contract agreement regarding the Scioto County engineer.
This is the bid award for hot mix for '22. It's in the amount of $4,325,446.30 to the Shelley Company. The contract agreement upon the recommendation of Darren LeBron, our Scioto County engineer. Any comments or questions?
Appreciate the work that Darren's doing, and this particular contract has to do with our townships as well. I think Shelley is getting ready to do quite a bit of paving in the townships. They're wrapping up some other projects, and they'll be jumping on that, as well as the city. Of course, Chillicothe Street is chewed up pretty good right now, and they'll be hitting that. Last I talked to the city manager, they're still looking at September. We actually have 2 trustees with us today. Wow, this is great.
It's nice.
And
Welcome.
so yeah, we just glad for the work that's being done between the trustees as well as the county engineer
And now the city of Portsmouth.
And
Yes,
the city of
now the city
Portsmouth.
of
So,
Portsmouth.
very good. And with that, I'll make a motion to approve.
Perfect. I'll second.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Powell,
Aye.
and the matter of bid award for 2022 Pirate Drive sidewalk project and contract agreement regarding the Scioto County engineer.
This is a project that Engineer LeBron has been working on for quite a bit for the sidewalk project there close to the schools there in Williamsburg. And this will be in the amount of $52,380 to the Leidy. Am I saying that right?
Levy.
Leedy, sorry, I knew I was butchering your name, sorry, Leedy. Leedy Contracting, and the contract agreement is 60% of the funds is coming from a grant. The other 40% of the funds are being split between Willersburg Schools, Porter Township, and the commissioners, and then it's also the recommendation of Darren LeBron, Scioto County engineer. Once again, we thank Darren on this project, and really, quite honestly, the partnerships between the schools and the township to be able to get this done and be able to get grant dollars to achieve it, and keeping our kids there safer. This is similar to, I guess, the sidewalk project that happened in Green Township.
Yeah, out in front of the schools.
Right in front of the
they're
school, so now this one is there in Willersburg. So thank you, Engineer LeBrun, for your work on this one.
Yeah, when they come off the trail coming from the school, they literally walk across Pirate Drive and then they literally walk into a ditch line. It's green, but it's a sloping ditch line, and it really is not conducive to safety. And a lot of times the kids are literally walking on Pirate Drive. So this will eliminate that altogether and make it much safer, as you said. So
And they probably, Willersburg community should probably put people on watch for a while, because the engineer did say he wanted to put a big Memphis Falcon logo in the sidewalk. I don't know that that'll go over well up there, but he keeps threatening that.
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Not even getting near it.
No?
No.
All right.
No.
With that, can I get a motion?
That's between them and the engineer. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis,
You're in so much trouble.
Yep.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Second, yep.
In the matter request for fund transfers,
Any comments or questions on fund transfers? Hearing none.
Motion approved.
Second?
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter request for advance of funds,
Any comments or questions on the advance of funds? Hearing none.
Motion approved.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of accepting miscellaneous reports,
Any comments or questions on our miscellaneous reports? Hearing none.
Motion to accept.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of resolution authorizing the lease purchase agreement between the Scioto County Commissioners and the City of Portsmouth regarding parcels number 300790.000, 30-0349.000, 30-016600, and 30-1070.000.
I'm glad you read that, so I don't have to. These next two items are the finalization of the county's support and engagement with the relocation of the Portsmouth City Hall to the Fifth Third building. Last week, we closed on that property for $418,000. And I will say that the original price was $570, so we had got a good savings there. But we did close. We do have, county has control of that property, and as has been discussed frequently, the city has also voted to enter into an agreement with the county on a lease to buy purchase over 10 years. We're not going to charge them anything extra. This gives them the opportunity to free some capital to help with the transition. It also locked up the asset, the building, while they were kind of discussing, and prevented other types of industry from moving into that building to the downtown area. Rehabs were looking at it at one point. So this gives us the opportunity to finally enter into the lease purchase agreement. This is the resolution to do so, and the second item 11 is the actual lease purchase agreement with the city. So this is for the resolution. Any comments or questions?
I'd like to thank you, Mr. Powell, for working so hard to hammer out this agreement with the city and Sam Sutherland and the council. This is a great day, I believe, in that we are seeing us get past a period, and of course this is tied in with the Martins development as well, in that we are going to see a whole lot of development going on in what I like to call the uptown portion of Portsmouth, that they will be moving from their building on 2nd Street. That will free up probably the most valuable piece of real estate in the city for development, arguably. And they'll relocate into the Fifth Third building. There is an annual lease that they will pay, I believe annually, right? It's
once a year.
Once a year.
Yeah.
And that will bring people up to that part of the city. You will then have municipal court and common police court within 2 blocks of each other. So it'll actually be more efficient for the courts. You will see more people, which will also foster more businesses, hopefully. Mix that with what's going on at the former Martins building and the development that is yet to be announced that will be at some point, which is something that the Port Authority is working on with the developer. You know, for a long time, we've had that debate back and forth, what to do with the Martins building, what to do with the Martins building, and if we hadn't moved forward with Fifth Third to purchase that, we may have very well been looking at a second empty building, a big building in downtown. And here we are, 6 months later, from the time that we started working on this, and we see the culmination of working together to get to where we are. Very much a big haul and a big effort to make a vision a reality. So kudos to you, kudos to Sam Sutherland and the council of the city for coming together and finding a way. I think the new building will portray a very professional look for the city, being right there on the Esplanade. You know, for those that remember, I wasn't alive. I don't know if any of us was. When that was Government Square, where that building was at one time, before the Montgomery Ward building was built, that was Government Square. And so it's interesting that 100 years later, we're returning to Government Square. So it's a good day. I think this will help the city of Portsmouth stabilize their finances even more for they have to move forward on the water project, the water plant project. This is our way of helping them do that, with them, you know, having to bond more or fall, you know, not fall, but just have to move on more, borrowing more money. So hopefully they'll be able to leverage their properties. They are combining, they are going to be moving departments that are in other buildings in that building with them. So they're consolidating, which is a wise thing to do. They're actually doubling their footprint with the Fifth Third building. They're doubling their footprint that they currently have in the city building. So by consolidating buildings, they'll recognize savings there as well. It's up to them, of course, what they want to do with those properties. We're hoping that those properties turn into development properties, that very positive things happen there and more jobs are created, and I think that would be a positive move. So thank you, and thank the citizens of Sauter County for helping with this, and I see good things happening. So it's a positive move.
Very good.
So with that,
With that, can I get a motion on the resolution?
let's
Item 10.
motion to adopt.
A second?
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of lease purchase agreement between the Board of County Commissioners of Sauter County, Ohio, and the City of Portsmouth, Ohio, regarding parcels 30-079-0000, 30-0349000, 30-016-6.000, and 30-1070000.
This is the actual lease purchase agreement.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, I can.
No.
This is the lease purchase agreement. It is for the term of 10 years with an annual rent payment of $41,800 due on or before the 31st day of July each lease year, for a total of $418,000. And I'll echo what Commissioner Davis said. Thank you, Sam Sutherland. He's been great to work with. You know, they had their space finding committee there within the city of Portsmouth that, you know, kind of coalesced around this idea as well. Charlotte Gordon has been instrumental, of course Sean Dunn, and really all of council. It's been a very positive experience working with the city. Too often we say these two things don't work together, and I will tell you that we quite honestly pulled off one of the biggest moves in the city's history for the past, let's call it 30 years, I don't know. So it's exciting to see, and then when you start looking around, what else is happening on Chillicothe Street, the face of Chillicothe Street will look drastically different in a couple years from now. And thanks for Engineer LeBron for the helping with the new road paving of Chillicothe Street, because that was part of the project he was working on for the grant savings as well. So all around, a lot of collaboration to revitalize our downtown area, and even more to come with the funds that the governor is going to be releasing, the $500 million that the governor is releasing to Appalachia. A big focus of that is revitalization of downtown space and Main Street space. So more to come on that. There'll be visions and things that we're casting, but today's a good day for the city of Portsmouth. So with that, unless you got anything else to add, can I get a motion to sign this lease with Sam Sutherland?
Motion approved.
I'll second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
And the matter of bid award for the professional advertising and marketing services and contract agreement regarding the Scioto County Visitors Bureau using ARPA funds.
This is a bid award for professional advertising and marketing services in the amount of $49,940.73. This is to EGD Creative. They're out of Akron, Ohio, and this is for the Visitors Bureau. There's been a lot of focus on tourism, a lot of different tourism recreation things happening within the county. I want to thank Kim Bauer, Director of the Visitors Bureau, for speaking with these companies that we received the bid packages on. Of course, for the board for moving forward with a comprehensive marketing plan. It'll elevate, quite honestly, the community and how we're reaching out to folks outside of the area to bring them in. Tourism dollars coming from outside of the area go a lot further. It's not just recirculated money, but it's new money coming into the area. So we're excited about this project and the good things that the Visitors Bureau will do with this marketing plan once it's developed. Any additional comments or questions?
I think it's great. This has been needed for a long time, and what we have in Scioto County, and I've talked with a lot of people that do this, is, and I know you have too, Scotty, and Kathy as well. We have a lot of people doing a lot of things, a lot of different entities doing a whole lot of things when it comes to marketing. Different organizations and different aspects of what we do. So you have River Days, you have Winterfest, you have White Gravel Mines, you have all these individuals doing all these things, but we don't have a cohesive marketing plan where everything is captured, because there's things going on that very few people know about. And I've said it for a long time, one of the worst things we are, and it's culture, we are taught when we were young, don't ever brag about yourself, don't talk about yourself. And that's good, that's a good thing to be taught, right? I mean, our parents taught us that, you don't do that. But when it comes to marketing and tourism, you have to do that, and we're the world's worst. We do little things, but we don't have a comprehensive plan. In other words, a motto, something that we can all, join together and support. So these are the kind of things that this particular marketing service can do. We did put out a bid for this and had several bids come in, and this is something that has been needed for a long time. So what we'll do is, and the Visitors Bureau will do, and Scott sits on the board with the Visitors Bureau, is that they will work with this group to develop that plan, to develop, this, and this group will come in and ask a lot of questions from an outsider's opinion. What do you have to offer? What are you talking about? What are you not talking about? And really take a 30,000 foot, 20,000, 10,000 foot level view of our community and tell us what they think. And there's so much that could potentially be done. And then they're going to develop that. And then we work with other groups, possibly internally and within our area, to fulfill that. Okay? So it's two-tiered. You've got this to see what we've got and what we could possibly really, really push out there, and then how to do it, and then work with groups to do it locally. So that's kind of the thought behind it. it's a positive thing. And folks, I'm telling you, we are just scratching the surface on really communicating to the outside world. I don't know how else to put it. What all we have to offer in this area. I mean, we just don't do a great job. There's websites that are doing things that are telling us what we're doing, and we need to try to just bring it all together in a bigger way. So, and then just have that cohesive marketing plan that everybody can buy into, and that everything we do is driven toward that message, a real strong message. So this is the beginning of that, and we'll see what happens. It's exciting. It really is. This is something that we could look back on a year from now and go, wow, there was some major fruit come out of that. So that's what we want. We want to tell everybody what we got, get them here. So, yeah.
Can I get a motion?
Motion approved.
All right, great. Second?
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
And the matter of accepting an amended certificate from the Budget Commission.
Any comments or questions on the amended certificate?
Motion accept.
A second?
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
And the matter of approving payment of the regular schedule of accounts for the various funds and memorial obligations in the total amount of $1,044,360.62.
Any comments or questions on the docket? Hearing none.
Motion approved.
I will second.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Hi. And that's the end of our agenda. This time we open up for questioning for any items on the agenda. Anything in-house first? Anybody have any questions in-house? Nope. Items on Facebook? What we got?
Mark Craycraft, on the agenda, item number 4, how many people receive these services? What is the daily rate? How many people pay for their devices? Will any of this money be reimbursed under the Indigent Defense Fund?
So there's 56 defendants, Mark, for 1,022 days. The total was 14,819.
It's $14.50 a day.
It's $14.50 a day. I was going to do the math. $14.50 a day, Mark. To this point, since I've been here, I've never seen defendants pay for any of this service. This is something that the courts would have to coordinate to ask for folks to pay while they're at home on an electronic home arrest. We haven't seen that happen to this point. Not that it couldn't, but that's just where we currently not there. But that would be at the judge's discretion and the court's discretion to be able to bring those funds in.
On the agenda, Mark Craycraft, item number 8, please explain the advance of funds.
The advancement of funds was for a grant for the sheriff's body cameras, so they can go ahead and move on purchasing those. It's an advance request.
Reimbursement grant.
For the reimbursement grant, it's pretty, it's paperwork for us because it's a grant that we've already approved, but instead of them waiting for the money to come in, they can move quicker on that. Any questions?
I got off the agenda for that.
Anybody in-house, off the agenda questions, comments? Great.
Times has received public communication from 2 individuals seeking to become foster parents through the Scioto County CPS.
Okay.
However, they've also indicated that they are immensely frustrated with the seeming disorganization of the office. They've indicated that while they participated in several office-approved Zoom classes, Zoom courses, to obtain their certification, that the office told them that they had no record of their participation and that the classes would need to be retaken in person so that they could answer questions in real time. They were able to provide evidence that they did complete the classes, and they've expressed great frustration that while they're ready, willing, and able to provide a nurturing home for children, they're still living in squalor while they're to jump through hoops to become, the children living in squalor, while they're to jump through hoops to become these foster parents. Can you clarify the role of the commissioners moving forward as CPS adjusts to all these changes? And what kind of comment can you offer about this frustration?
So to speak specifically to this problem, for their situation, we need to know who that is so we can investigate that
Sure.
and get answers for that.
I can-
I will tell you, prior to the combination, there were issues within the foster system, our own foster system. So I want to clarify, there's other foster organizations within our county. Sauter County does have a foster system. It is a cheaper alternative for us versus paying for an outside organization to do it. Prior to the combination, the person that was over the foster services and the credentialing was working a full caseload as well. So their focus got pushed to taking care of the children in the caseload. Doesn't make it a great situation, but that's what was happening. Our role as commissioners now is, quite honestly, we oversee the financial and the operational at the high level. So no longer is it a board structure, but it ultimately comes back on us. We've been having great conversations with Tammy Moore-Morton, who's the director of JFS, and Jason Mantell as we go through this process. I know Tammy's been reaching out, getting a lot of support and insight, and she jumped headfirst into learning the CPS system because it is now ultimately under us, but under her. So she's been making a lot of great contacts with different counties that have been doing a good job in the different aspects of CPS, not just the foster system, but also Title 480s, and just their intake process. So there's a lot going on in the combination right now. We have Accenture, who the state of Ohio has paid for to come down and be a consultant to look at CPS in Sauter County, but also look at JFS's interaction with us. So there's a lot going there. I understand the frustration these foster families are. We've heard it. We're working to fix it is the best I can say. If they have specific information, I'd love to be able to see that, and that way we can kind of dig in. If they're being asked to redo a class or something, I don't know if that's a statute issue or something. Once again, we'd have to dig into that. So the combination is going well. The staff seems to be adapting well.
The merger's complete.
The merger's complete. They haven't moved yet, but Tammy's been very thoughtful of making sure that the CPS team and the JFS team kind of combine really well as one. So they've been doing a lot of meet and greets and different things, and she's setting her expectations of how JFS operates and kind of going through the nuance of combining two organizations that just operate a little different. So, I feel for the foster family that's trying to provide service and care, and we're working on it, as best I can say. Any additional comments?
It's terrible what you're saying. It's the first we've heard of this, but definitely we'll dig into it and find out.
If you're
What
okay to
world,
share
you know.
later, okay.
We need foster parents really bad, and we don't know what the extenuating circumstances are with this. And we'll find out, definitely, but if we could get a name and contact information, we will definitely dig into it.
Yep.
So, thank you.
Perfect, thank you. Any other comments not on the agenda here in, how are you, sir?
Doing good.
How are you?
Doing good.
How's things in Green Township?
Yes, sir. We're good.
You say your name? They can't see you on camera.
Steve Ruggles, Green Township trustee.
Steve Ruggles. Thank you for joining us today, sir.
I'm here to talk about what's going on Kenyon Road and the possibilities of Kenyon Road.
Okay.
Okay.
As you know, we've got a campground up there now. Everything's across the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
And they're building a go-kart track up there.
Yeah.
Is that connected to the campground or is that a
No,
separate
it's up
project?
over a half a mile.
Okay.
That's that. And the railroad crossings are terrible up there. Dangerous as a cock gun up there. And there's a lot of potential industrial property down through there.
Okay.
And I just wonder if you guys have ever considered or what the possibilities would be, put a road up the other side of the track up there.
The other side of the track.
Yeah.
The
Across
south
the
side?
ODOT garage, across the track, ODOT garage, and go up the other side of the track and it'll join up there close to the dam. It's on the other side of the track.
You're
Cameron's drag going across there, and that spot they're putting go-kart track there, if they don't put some out there to direct traffic, they gonna, you just have to go over and go across it, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And every crossing up there was like that.
Steve, I know this is the first I've heard of this potential idea.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it in a road.
What's a township? You guys want to put one in?
Yeah, we'd like to, but not a part, it's not.
There's several landowners
That you have to
along
cross
there.
too?
Basically, you're saying get it away from the railroad crossing.
Yeah, if you do with
Yeah.
the railroad, you have talked about possibly a biking track up there, a walking track or something like that.
Yeah, we did as far as, being able to go down to the new park, you know,
Yeah.
and being able to loop around it, and it's like a 7-mile loop, actually, if you add it all together.
Yeah.
But, so you're saying go down the
River
west side, right? The west side of the road, the west side of the railroad tracks?
On the riverside.
Riverside of the
River side of the
tracks.
railroad tracks.
It'd probably be right in the neighborhood of 3 mile,
Yeah,
what they'd be up to there.
And then also
Okay.
being able to acquire the land to do it.
yeah.
Because that's probably all private land up through there, Steve.
Most of it is, but I'm dissatisfied, a lot of them will probably just give you right away through.
Yeah, so they don't get stuck behind a train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I think that's something you got to talk to Engineer LeBrun about and see if that's something that we could even tackle.
What that would even look like.
Yeah. Darren LeBrun, we can talk to Darren LeBrun about it and see what that looks like. I understand Armstrong's building that go-kart track and
Supposed to open, I guess, and just.
And the campground's been very busy.
yeah, they were talking about July
Yes,
4th. I didn't
And
know.
the trailer drag going across that. Tail of the trailer drag down.
No. Can they come off the Green Up Dam exit and come that way instead, or?
That would
You
make
still
a
gotta
big
go up
difference.
over
Dragging is still when they cross the railroad track.
You gotta cross the railroad track there at the
Either
campground.
way, we're gonna pay that.
Campground, yes.
Well, there's a railroad, yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Okay.
The railroad track right in front of the campground.
Okay.
Those are very steep, we camped up there this weekend.
Yeah, they're not conducive.
You know, you barely scrape, but it's, I mean, you can't see past the tracks.
I don't know if you have to go that entirely.
Okay.
Okay.
That's,
Great.
as
great,
there's more development up there, I think you're right, we probably need to look at what that infrastructure looks like. That's,
Yeah, a lot of people don't know there's a new campground, which is Riverside Campground. It's
it's pretty. I
yeah,
think they put a putt-putt
right
in
on
there
the-
too, didn't they? They put
What
putt,
is it?
did they put a putt-putt course in there at the campground as well?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Supposed to
they're
be basic
investing.
in, I think, too.
Are they?
I know they're doing really good, and then with this new racetrack, and they didn't replace the one that's already up on Hayport. This is another one.
Yeah.
So there's 2 go-kart tracks now
Yeah.
up in that area. So it's pretty neat. A lot of new stuff. So that's a good idea, Steve. It really is.
We'll have to get with the engineer to see feasibility on that.
Yeah, for safety, that's a good idea. Okay. All righty.
Okay. Any additional questions not on the agenda?
See, Mr. Race is with us from Madison Township. Thanks for stopping by
Thank
today.
you for stopping by.
Appreciate seeing you and appreciate the work our township trustees are doing all across our county.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot, and they're like us. They got a bunch of ARP money, and they're trying to figure out how to spend it. So
Wisely.
wisely, and everybody's got ideas.
Wisely,
So
hopefully,
yeah, so it's just part of the struggle. To whom much is given, much is required. I think is what the Bible says. So, all right.
Any questions not on the agenda?
Mark Craycroft off the agenda. Please update us on the plans and timeline for the park at Greenup Dam.
So we just got the,
Interesting.
yeah, we just got notice last week
Yes.
from the capital budget of $200,000 to help with that park project down at Greenup. Literally today, my mailbox was the actual final lease with the Army Corps of Engineer. So that'll be on the agenda next week to discuss and look at. So we're moving along in terms of a playground. I've been talking with a company that's through Sourcewell. It's a federal contracting, and they kind of make sure everybody in Sourcewell is already low bid. So I've been talking to a guy about different designs and kind of what the lead time is on playground equipment. It's out there. Lead time on playground equipment's out
4
there.
months? Is it 4 months? Yeah.
4 months in Madison. It's very similar to what my contact's been saying, and with the port in place, rubberized ground
Yeah,
for
the-
safety and for accessibility.
Is that the same one that did Washington Township's part?
It is the same company that did theirs.
Same.
You have to have certain weather and temperature at night to make sure it sets up right. So if we move on it quick enough, we might be able to install that October-ish. Still a lot of moving parts there, Mark. That's a good question. There's a lot coming there, and it is connected to what the trustees are doing there and paving Kenyon Road. So it's going to be a nice feature for the county and for the township up there. Any additional questions?
Mark Craycraft, on the agenda again. Item number 12, the city is looking at hiring an outside company to assist with potential grants. Could you please explain how this agency and expense could help us attract tourism dollars that our Visitors Bureau cannot reach on its own?
So the city is looking for a grant writer?
Yes, he says the city is looking at hiring an outside company to assist with potential grants.
Look, I mean, we're trying to find a grant writer too. So there's a lot of opportunity, and quite honestly, probably missed opportunity. There's a lot of grant money out there right now, so I think it's wise to find somebody good. In terms of tourism, that right now there's a lot of tourism grant money kind of showing up that hadn't been there in the past. So I think there's an opportunity. It's ultimately going to be the city of Portsmouth of where they point that person to in terms of what they're kind of prioritizing their projects as. But grant writers are very valuable right now, and always has been, but probably now more than ever. There's a lot of grant money happening. So it's good to hear that. I guess I didn't realize they were looking for somebody as well, because they have somebody.
Sam mentioned it.
They have somebody. I mean, Tracy does a lot of good work. Tracy Shear does a lot of good work in getting grants. But if they have capacity for another one, God bless them. I hope they can find somebody good.
Yeah, I think they were.
Really for outside.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not wanting to hire somebody. Oh, a contract?
The American Byway, someone who's working with them on the American Byway thing is what I was told, but,
Okay, that's a different strategy. I mean, they'll take a percentage of the grant typically for admin fees. So it's a different strategy, but if it works.
the idea is to have your grant writer pay for it, he or herself. That's the idea, so.
And then the last one is from Frank Thompson. Will the commissioners address rescinding the Second Amendment sanctuary designation in light of gun violence?
I'm not rescinding it.
Yeah.
I support all 27 amendments.
Okay. I don't know that there's any appetite to do that. Quite honestly, back then it was a resolution to show the support the commissioners had for the Second Amendment. And I think we're all still very much, not that we voted, you just heard from Brian, we're very much in the same vein. The reality is it didn't change the laws. The resolution didn't change the laws in Sauter County. It was just giving the position of the commissioners at that time. And I would say even still today that we believe in the Second Amendment. We believe in all the amendments. So thank you for that question. No? Okay.
Yeah.
You wanna jump in?
know what? Yeah, I'll just like dive into it.
You
here.
weren't going to.
Bottom line is, the red flag laws, things like that, we have seen proven over just the last week. You can have all those things in place and they will not prevent gun violence. People who want to commit acts of a criminal nature will find guns. They're out there, they're readily available, they can find them anytime. And what we need to be dealing with is the issue of mental health in our communities and in our country. Once again, we have a person who was mentally ill that was out there. They had on their radar. The FBI themselves had him on their radar. The local police had him on their radar. I am so sick of hearing the phrases. Yeah, I mean, I'm so sick of hearing he was on our radar. Well, when do you do something about someone that's on your radar. It's clear that there was mental health issues. This young man needed help, and it's so sad. And a lot of times these are cries for help, and they have no other recourse. So look, we can talk about the Second Amendment, we can talk about gun stocks, and we can talk about AR-15s and everything else. The bottom line is, as a nation, we need to start having a very strong conversation about mental health, about getting people needed assistance. And to be honest with you, and I've said this many times in here before, our jails are full of people that don't need to be in jail. They need mental health help. We shut down all of our mental health hospitals in Ohio. We have beds for 70 people out of 4 million in Southeast Ohio, which is abysmal and sad. Shouldn't have ever happened, but they made that decision a long time ago in Columbus. I do believe this administration is trying to reverse that, and they are looking at ways to do that. But there are things that can be addressed. And you know what? I mean, Frank, I understand Frank has a very strong opinion about this. I know that he, put a petition out there for Sauter Countyans to stand against the Second Amendment and get us to not be a Second Amendment sanctuary county, which we are with other counties, especially here in Southeast Ohio. 90 people signed his petition out of 74,000. So, I mean, I think the people of Sauter County have spoken. I think the people of Sauter County support the Second Amendment, as well as all 27 amendments to our Constitution. And what we need to do is make sure that if there's an armed assailant out there, if he has a gun, you know what? It's all right to have one that's bigger than what he's got. And you know what? That it goes back to the founding of our country. Our founding fathers showed great wisdom in the fact that the right to bear arms shall not be infringed. And that means no way, no how. And I do understand there's a mental health aspect to it. It needs to be dealt with in a very responsible manner. The red flag laws, where you have people making determinations if this person's mentally ill and this person's a threat and this person's that, and there's no real good determination or a good way to do that. I think that's a dangerous, slippery slope for this country to move down, because at that point, anybody could look at any of you and say, I don't like you, I think you're mentally ill, you can no longer possess a firearm. That is a dangerous precedent to set in this country. And like I said, and I'm sure Frank's going to have all kinds of blogs and everything else, he always does. But the bottom line is, I have said multiple times, and we've seen it this week, red flag laws do nothing to prevent someone from going to get a gun and going out and shooting someplace up, period. It does nothing. God forbid it happen around here, but it could. And as a matter of fact, one of the worst situations we had was with a knife in our county. A few years ago, there was a teacher involved, school involved. So don't, gun, rock, knife, whatever it is, the core of the issue is mental health. And if you really want to zero in on what the big issue is, it's sin. It's sin in the hearts of man. That's period. That's it. That's where it all goes. And we deal with that, and we'll be better off as a society. But you can't legislate hate away, and you can't legislate guns away, and you can't legislate sin away. That's got to happen in the heart of man. So that's all I'll say. I've said too much. He's got plenty of fodder for his blog now. But by goodness, I'll stand for the citizens of Sauter County in these United States, and the rights of a citizen to bear arms will not be infringed as long as I'm a commissioner in this county.
They took God out of schools, they took the cage mounts off the wall, took prayer.
Thank you, sir.
What do you expect? What you raise, what you get.
Thank you, sir.
That's right.
What you reap, you will sow.
They take your guns, we got a squad. I know how to swing a baseball bat, when we're gonna stop baseball, because we won't have any more baseball games in about 10 years, because we'll be killing everybody with bats.
All right, with that,
Well, yeah.
we had a 10 o'clock meeting, trying to,
Thank you for your comments.
any closing thoughts?
I've already said it.
Okay, great. I will say, last closing thought, I had the honor to attend the funeral service of Herschel Woody Williams, last living World War II Medal of Honor recipient. And I know coming home, my wife noted that it is good to see People still care about this country and still cares about our veterans, and the amount of patriotism on display. The top two guys in the Marines were there. The governor spoke on his behalf. The senator spoke on his behalf, and they announced that Herschel will be laying in state in Washington, D.C. I don't know if they put the dates yet, but as the last Living World War II Medal of Honor recipient, it's a big honor, and you know, it's good to see, and we thank our servicemen and women, especially coming out of the 4th of July celebration, that they're the reasons we have what we have. They put it on the line. Their families put it on the line for us, so we thank you. Keep Herschel's family continued in your prayers. They still got a lot that's going on. It's been a wild ride for them, but it was good to see people lining the streets with American flags. It was good to see the amount of love and support being bestowed on the family in celebration of Herschel's life of 98 years. With that, can I get a motion?
Motion to
Adjourn. And I will second.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.